And the other thing, touching on those who are joining the industry, another blog you have, which is so relevant, networking. So who you network with, how you're building your social network. So why don't you go into that? Because it seems like what you're saying there, for people who want to come into the industry, there's so much free resources out there that you can go and learn. YouTube, number of people, number of certs, and then networking. So why don't you just elaborate on like your kind of view on the networking and how people should grow their social channels?
Yeah, so one thing I get asked a lot, especially when I was still working at NViso, because I was also involved in the hiring process, is how do I land a job as a pen tester? How do I land a job as a red teamer? And yes, I'll be honest, there is a shortage of people in the industry, still are, but because of those free resources out there, a lot of people are catching up. A lot of people want to, because hacking is kind of sexy, right? Oh, people want to do that for a living. They kind of want to get in there, or they want to be like Elliot from Mr. Robot, and so we do get a lot of applicants. And then the thing is, how do you stand out, right? Because even if you do try hack me, even if you do hack the box, sorry, but almost everyone does hack the box. Almost everyone does try hack me. So that's not going to give you any advantage when you apply for a job, because guess what? Everyone else is also doing exactly the same thing as you. So how do you stand out? Well, how do you stand out? You can do that, in my opinion, in two very big ways. One is networking, because unfortunately, I don't like this part of life, but unfortunately, that's part of life. You'll tend to get jobs based on the people that you know. Sometimes there are going to be vacancies at companies, but those vacancies won't ever be even publicized, because they're going to get picked up by some acquaintance of someone. And unfortunately, that's the case with some jobs, especially when we are starting to come in the higher ranking of jobs, right? Like managerial jobs, C-level jobs. The chances of you, sorry to burst your bubble, and don't shoot me, but if you are a pen tester at a specific, if you're a pen tester or a red teamer at a specific companies, and your hopes are to one day become a manager or to even become like a CISO or a C-level thing, according to studies, this is not always true, by the way, but according to studies, those kind of jobs are most likely getting hired from the outside instead of from the inside. That's just a fact. It's not always like that. I'm not saying that you can't grow into a C-level position, but unfortunately, those jobs are usually getting sourced from the outside perspective. And usually it's going to be a friend of a friend or a friend of the CEO. So networking is important. That's one way you can stand out. If you know the right people, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, but if you know the right people, it's going to get easier for you to land a job. That's just how it is.